if you're not using this tool in your postcard business on eBay, you could be losing sales. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's video, I just want to share with you a tool that I use in my postcard business on eBay that really helps boost my sales. And if you're not using this tool, you could be losing money, okay? And what it is basically is color correcting your images through a program like Photoshop or some other program, some other photo manipulation program like GIMP. You know, there's a number of free ones out there you can use. And I'm going to explain to you in detail why you should be using. I'm going to show you some examples of, you know, what can happen and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on the computer right now, take you into Photoshop, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you on the inside. Okay guys, here I am inside my Photoshop program. Like I said, you don't have to have Photoshop. You could use another free program. I believe it's called GIMP. And there's several other free programs out there, just as long as it allows you to, you know, color correct your density and your saturation and things like your different color channels like red, green, blue, what they call RGB, things to that nature. If it gives you that kind of control, then that's a program you can use. But I use Photoshop because I'm a professional photographer, and I also got a great deal years ago on a package deal where I got Photoshop and Lightroom together in a package for only $9.95 a month. And I got grandfathered in, so it's never changed. The thing is, when you're using a scanner like the Epson ES400 scanner, it has a constant white light that your postcard runs through. But each color in the color wheel has what they call a color temperature. It's a tone that is identified with that color intensity. Now, as you can see, this postcard, I scanned this through the scanner, and I'm looking at this postcard right here. Okay, here's the postcard. Okay, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but the postcard on the screen in Photoshop is way more saturated than this card is. And why is that important? It's important because a lot of people on eBay that are doing postcards are trying to get as many postcards up as possible, you know, try to get as many listed as possible, and they kind of forego this step. They're just like, it's not important, but it really is. And I'm going to explain to you why in a minute. Because basically they just throw it up on eBay and like, that's it, it's good enough. But see, the problem you run into, and this is where you could be losing money, the problem you run into is the fact that the color of the actual postcard and what they see on eBay doesn't look the same. Now, if that happens, you're looking at an item not as described case against you instantly. I guarantee you, especially if they paid a lot for the card. You know, if they paid $5 for the card, maybe not so much. But if they paid, say, $15, $20, $30, $50 for the card, and they get the card in the mail and they saw what it looked like on eBay, and then they look at the card and go, the color isn't as saturated, and it's not the same. It was more saturated, you know, when I looked at it on eBay than it is here on the card. It looks a little faded on the card. And like I said, that's an item not as described case looking for a place to happen. Okay? And that's going to be a refund, and they're not going to be happy, and they might even give you neutral or negative feedback because of that, because you didn't represent it well. Now, I will suggest to you that, you know, every monitor is different, and every monitor has a different, what they call a color profile. And what you want to do is go out and get yourself, if you don't have one, go out and get yourself a device that will use to calibrate your monitor. You just stick it over the screen, you plug it into a USB cable, and you stick it over the face of the screen, and you click a button, and it does its thing in about 5 minutes, and it just calibrates all the colors. You know, I would suggest you try to get one of those. I have one. I think it's called a Color Monkey Smile. It's a weird name, but I just, like I said, I plug it into the USB cable. I take the cable and I put it over the top of the screen. I kill all the lights, and it does its thing in about 5 minutes, and it calibrates my monitor really well. And I only have to do that like once a month, you know, just to keep my colors accurate. Because what you want to do on eBay, you don't want to misrepresent yourself or your product. So you want to, you know, try to color correct your product, your card, as close to the human eye as possible. That's what I try to do. I know it takes a couple extra steps, but we're only talking seconds here, literally. Let me show you how quickly I can do this. Okay, so I'm looking at the card, and it looks a little bit brighter, a little bit lighter than what I'm seeing on this screen here. So what I do is I go up here. Now this is in Photoshop CC. This is kind of like the latest version of Photoshop. But like I said, as long as you have these controls in any photo editing program, you should have no problem. Actually, I need to start on the back side because there's something about this I want to show you on the back side. This is the back of that card. And this is another reason why when you run it through the scanner, what happens is you get a color shift sometimes because of the color temperature of the light in the scanner. Now, if you're taking photographs of it in a studio or a light box, you can accurately set your settings on your camera a little bit more. But you know, with the scanner, it's just like what they call a flat wash of light. It's shadowless. It just covers your image, your postcard with light, according to how you set your settings as far as exposure and things like that. But as you can see on the screen here, you see all this yellow tint. I'm looking at the back of this card, okay? And this card looks white, maybe a little bit yellow because I'm looking at it kind of under a yellow ambient light, but still, it doesn't look like that, like on the screen. And like I said, if they see that on eBay, and then they get this, and they're going to go, oh, that's different, and they might not like that. So the way you color correct something like this is, I'm going to go to Image, I'm going to go to Adjustments, and then I'm going to go to Hue and Saturation. And that brings up this little window over here to the right. I hope you can see it. And I'm just going to do the individual channels. And like I said, this takes seconds, guys. It's not like it takes minutes and it's going to cost you all the time, because I know I've mentioned on previous videos that, you know, in business, time is money, which it is. But this takes literally seconds, guys. So you just go into the red channel, and I'm going to pull that down about maybe 50%. And then I'm going to go into the yellow channel, and I'm going to pull that down to where it's almost gone. And that looks good right there. Now I'm looking at the card. Okay, I'm looking at the back of this card, and I'm looking at the screen, and they look pretty close. I mean, you're not going to get it 100%, you know, dead bang on, but you can get it pretty close to where the human eye will see that it looks very, very similar, and that's what you're after. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply go to File and Save As. Oh, sorry, I got to accept that first. Always got to accept the change first. And then I go to File and Save As, and that's the folder that it's in. I'm going to save over the original and hit Yes and hit OK. Now that one's done. That's how quick this goes. Now go to the front face of the card. Okay, this card is actually what they call a sepia tone in photography. Okay, it's kind of like a golden tone, but as you can see on the screen, this is really oversaturated. You put this on eBay, it's not going to look the same as on this. So all I've got to do here is go into Image, go to Adjustments, go to Hue and Saturation again. And I don't even have to do the individual channels because this is pretty much all the same tonality. So I'm just going to pull down, this is set to master. And I'm just going to pull down on the master slider a little bit, just like that, and take some of that redness out of it. Not quite that much. I'm going to put a little bit more back in there. And I'm going to adjust the hue just a little bit. This is why you need these controls. I'm going to play with that a little. Make that more like that. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to lighten it up just a little. That looks pretty good right there. Yeah, I think that's good. Let me just tweak it a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I'm going to accept that. And always when you bring it into, when you load it up into eBay, it's going to load a little bit darker. I've noticed that. So you can just use the controls on your platform, on your where your photos are on eBay, and you can just bring up the brightness just a titch, not much. But yeah, that pretty much matches what I'm looking at on the card right here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to go to File, Save As. I'm going to save over the original, and boom, boom, and we're done. Now I had to do a little more work on this one that I normally have to do, but usually it's just the red and yellow channels have to be adjusted, and then just the master slider, and you're done. Okay, let's move on to another card. I just want to show you another one here. Okay, now this one, I wanted to bring these examples up so you can see this. Okay, this one here, as you can see on the back, it's pretty much white. Okay, a little bit of yellow tone to it, not much. This on the screen, that looks almost yellowish green. Ooh, not very attractive. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to go into Image, we're going to go into Adjustments, and we're going to go into Hue and Saturation. And this time we're just going to pull down on the yellow channel just a little bit. There's not much red in there. And we're just going to pull that back just about 50%. And that looks pretty good. Right about there. And we're going to pull some of that red out of there. Just, it's not much to begin with. Right about there, about 25%. And hit OK. We'll accept that. And we'll just go File, Save As, Save over the original. Yes. OK. Done. Okay, now the front of the card. Here's the card the way it looks. See that? And look at it on the screen. It's way too oversaturated. If somebody gets something like that and they paid a lot of money for that card, they're going to be demanding a refund. Because they're going to say, you misrepresented, you made this card, you know, the colors in this card. That's why I chose this card. You made the colors in this card look way oversaturated, so it'd make the card look better. And then I get the card and it's not as saturated and it doesn't look as good. So that's where, like I said, you could be losing money because they might ask for a refund and they might even give you, you know, negative feedback or whatever. But this is real easy to adjust. Okay, I don't even have to go into individual channels on this. All I got to do is go to Image and go to Adjustments and then use Saturation again. And I'm just going to pull down on the master slider about maybe 20-30%. Right about there. Perfect. There you go. Hit OK. Then we're going to resave that again over the original. Save As. Save over. Yes. Okay. Done. Okay. Now on this one, I know I could see there's some dark trees and things, so you're probably going to have to brighten this up a little bit once you get it into eBay, but not a problem. I mean, it takes seconds, literally. Okay, let me show you the third and final example here. Okay, start with the back. This is a great example here. Oh, where do you see this puppy? You wouldn't believe this. Okay, this is the way it came. What you're seeing on the screen is the way it came through the scanner. And as you can see, there's some yellow fringing around the whole card. Now, I'm looking at the back of this card. This card is white on the back. Okay, there's no yellow, there's no red, you know. And look at the stamp. Look at the stamp on the screen. It's like red. The stamp here is more like purple. Again, if you were to load this card up just as it is, just to save time, they're going to look at that and they're going to go, wait a minute, that stamp color is off. Now, maybe that wouldn't mean anything to them, but who knows? But you know what? It might. It might. You know, you never know. That's why it's really important that you try to get these things as accurately as possible, you know, without spending a ton of time. But I'm going to show you how to do that too. Okay, so first what we're going to do is we're going to go and take care of the yellow first. So we're going to go to Image, and then we're going to go to Adjustments and Color Saturation again. And we're just going to go into the yellow channel, and we're going to pull that yellow right out of that. There you go. That looks good. Now, we got to deal with this stamp color, because the stamp color here on the card is purple, okay, because of the age of the card. On there, it's red. Not the same. So what you do is you go, when you get a stamp like that, just, you know, for future reference, when you get something like that, you go into the red channel, and you pull the red down just a little bit, about 20%. Let's pull some of the intensity out of it, maybe 50%. Yeah, in this case, 50%. Now, it's still red. It's not purple. Okay, you want to match what's on this card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide the hue slider over to the left, just like that. Watch what happens. Look at the card now. Now you've got purple. That's a little intense, so we're going to bring the saturation down a little bit more, and we're going to bring the lightness down just a little bit more. Make a little tweak adjustment here, right about there. Bring this back just a hair. Perfect. Right there. Look at it on the screen, then look at it here. I'm hoping it looks the same to you, because to my human eye it looks the same. Okay, and that's the way you want to represent that card. Okay, so we're going to accept that, and then we're going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to go Save Over the original. Accept that, yes, okay, and we're done. Easy peasy. I just did 3 cards in a very short time. And so that's kind of what I wanted to share with you today, because like I said, it's real important that you try to accurately represent that card when you're selling it on eBay as accurately as you can. I understand, you know, computer monitors are different, but if anybody gets something, like I said, if they pay for a card that they're paying like top dollar for, you know, what if they paid $100 for a card? And you uploaded it to eBay and it was beautifully saturated with flowers or something, and it was beautifully saturated, and they, oh, I love the saturation in that card. I'm gonna get that card. And they get it, they pay you a lot of money for it, and then they get the card and they go, wait a minute. It doesn't look anything like the picture. The colors are faded. I mean, in the picture it's really beautifully saturated, but it looks like he sent me a different card. It's just old, and it's, oh, I want my money back. That's what's going to happen, guys. I promise you. Some people are very, very particular about that kind of stuff. And I know it takes an extra step, but it's really, really important. But the thing is, some people are very particular about that, and color accuracy on a card is very important. And like I showed you, this didn't take any time at all. I mean, you can literally, I have literally gone through a card. You know, I do cards individually, okay? I literally have gone through a card in like 15, 20 seconds, and I was done. And then I was loading it up to eBay, and it was color accurate. So I just wanted to pass that tip on to you. I hope that helps, guys. You know, I believe that the more accurate you are with your colors, the more sales you'll make. I've actually had people write me back on eBay and say how much they appreciated the fact that that card looked almost exactly like, when they got the card, it looked almost exactly like it did on eBay. And they appreciated that, because one lady told me, she goes, I'm sick and tired of these people that just throw cards up and it doesn't look anything like it. And I get it, and it looks faded, and yeah, but on the, you know, on eBay it was all beautifully saturated and everything like that. And they were just very, very disappointed, and who knows, they might have given them negative or neutral feedback. Or maybe they didn't, but, you know, they'll probably never buy from them again. And that's what you want to avoid. You want to have repeat customers. They're the easiest customers to sell to, because they've already dealt with you in the past, and now they can trust you, because, you know, the old saying in sales, people buy from who they know, like, and trust. So now they trust you, that you're not going to try to pull a fast one on them and try to give them a card that doesn't look the same or whatever. And it won't cost you some sales, and it won't cost you the headache of having to go through a return on eBay. So I hope that's helped, guys. If it has, please feel free to smash that like button. It really helps the channel. Just wanted to pass that on to you. And I just wish you all the best and success with your postcard business. And hopefully using this technique that only takes a little extra time will make you a ton of more sales. Okay, listen, I got to go, but you guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, and bye for now.